Today we continue with our class Shabbos home, and we start with a story told about Chofetz Chaim, but his dear son. And the next story topic is arousing the populace. So the two previous story was about Chofetz Chaim writing and distributing Mishnah Brura. So now it's arousing the populace. As his presence in the public, his presence and public addresses left a deep impression upon the communities which he visited. Whenever he traveled, he addressed the people. His words drew many close to Torah and fear of heaven. His address would usually last about an hour. He would not shout, dramatize, or even use the familiar tune of Megiddim preachers. Occasionally, a groan would escape his lips. His main topic was the need to engage in daily introspection and take to stock of one's spiritual standing. My father's words penetrated deep into the hearts of his listeners. Right, so let's try to understand what it says in this paragraph. So the style was very interesting, without shouting, without like a balance up and down. So because it was so full of content, right, and words penetrated. No, like tricks, not tricks. Magadim. I'm not sure what tune exactly that they use. I'm not sure. But there was some tune, right? No drama, right? Okay. So and his point was to engage in daily introspection. That's what we said also mentioned in our class, B'siyata Dishmaya, right? The text stack of one's spiritual standing, right? Meaning where to grow. Okay. Continue. Someone related to me that he was present at one of my father's addresses more than 50 years ago. When the address was ended, some people stood chatting together and were heard praising the quality of my father's address. He approached them and said, "Please refrain from discussing the merit of my address. And that is not important. What important that my words take into your heart." Right? So it's very interesting, right? Chofetz Chaim said it's not about you liking my speech. Like some people say, like, did you like it? Doesn't matter. Like you like it, does not like it. What impression it made of you? Did it change? Did it change? That's our goal to grow spiritually. So one of our new dear students, so he wrote to me and asked me what this word means in one of the prophets. We spoke about him today. 1 second. Zachariah, right? Zachariah 9:9, I think, or something, right? So it was one word. So it's like I don't know exactly remember the sentence. And then he was so concerned. So I told him, and he knows not much. Let's put it this way. I mean, he knows some things, and he sent me his findings in the Torah. Okay, so I told him like you must learn Torah. Like that is going to change you, like going to affect you. You understand? All of these things about Zachariah, it's like about donkey, like Mashiach, he's poor or very poor, he's humble. Okay, so here's a question: was he humble or was he poor? I said, what's the difference does it make? Like just think about it. So most of the poor people, they're humble. What exactly they should be proud of? You understand? So, but that's the ways of Yetzer Hara. As Chofetz Chaim said, you must take these words to heart. Okay. In Warsaw, in Warsaw, where is mentioned above, my father spent many months in his younger years overseeing the publication of his Sfarim. Younger years, maybe he was in his early 30s, I think. I don't know. Okay. Right, where he lived at a God-fearing young scholar named Rabbi Yitzchak Gradzensky, right, young scholar at that time. Rav Yitzchak was founded a Hevra society of laborers who would gather together 3 times a day to study Torah. Right? Not 3 times a year, but 3 times a day to study Torah. My father, who from his youth strove to disseminate Torah among the masses, particularly among the poor and unlearned, gave Rav Yitzchak and his group much encouragement and inspiration. He would visit with them regularly and would encourage the laborers to strengthen the observance of the middos and character development. So many of these laborers, these simple Jews, they were born in a Jewish family. They knew some things, some basics. Not basics, whatever they learned from their parents, whatever they learned from people around, whatever they learned from synagogue, but then where it stopped. So people would like start working like very hard at very young age. Okay, so and he was trying to teach them, these people, right? Very interesting. Eventually, Rav Yitzchak's home became my father's regular place for lodging in Warsaw. So he's was Gadol Hador, this Rav Grodzensky. Okay. And somehow, I don't remember how did they. They married into the family of Rav Salanter. Israel Salanter, that's all. They're all connected. All these big people, they marry each other. I mean, the children. So again, at the time Rav Yitzchak Hevra grew to in time Rav Yitzchak Hevra grew to the point where it was forced to rent a base of medrash for itself. Baruch Hashem, so many people. A group founded a new Sfarim library, which included many copies of each of my father's works. Rav Yitzchak studied my father's works with Hevra on a regular basis. And this left deep impression upon these laborers, meaning the Mishnah Berurah and others. Right? Deep on laborers. Both in the matters between man and his fellow, right, but like Sefer Chofetz Chaim, and between man and his creator. Many of these laborers developed into outstanding Jews, who were known for their awe of God and their eagerness to hearken to his calling. Right? I mean, you have to be a especially holy person to inspire other people, right? To be, as he said, God-fearing people. Right. So again, many of these laborers developed into outstanding Jews who were known today for their awe and awe of God and their engagement in eagerness to hearken to His calling. Continue. After the period of time, Rav Yitzchak founded yeshiva with many classes, led by distinguished Rosh Hashiva. His son-in-law, Rabbi Israel Hirsch, founded a Hevra of his own in a different part of the city, which also made the Torah study the focal point of the day. Torah study. In time, similar groups were founded throughout the Warsaw by the disciples of Rav Yitzchak. They also established committees to strengthen the observance of Shabbos and the laws of family purity, and distributed hundreds of copies of my father's monographs on these vital matters, meaning like some articles. It's very interesting. So this great tzaddikim were doing kiruv. I bring people close, and some people they just a little embarrassed. Yes, he's a Jew, but he knows not much, right? Right. So you have to be very careful, very gentle, not to offend the person, right? The tzaddik, the tzaddik, Rabbi Yitzchak, passed away. Tzaddik, Rabbi Yitzchak, Grodzensky, right? He passed away in 5681, 1921. It is not an exaggeration to say that he did not leave behind an equal in all of the Warsaw. For the degree to which he spread the Torah study and strengthened the middos observance throughout the city was unsurpassed. My father eulogized him and mourned his passing exceedingly. In truth, my father was the center of all of Rav Yitzchak's mighty deeds and projects. Very interesting. So, of course, Chofetz Chaim had his own hands full, but he saw that somebody else is doing the amazing service of Hashem, so he was trying to help him any way possible. Very interesting. All right, so continue. Okay, so we continue with chapter number 8, and same topic: garments that may be worn on Shabbos. Right, and we said we get definition of the garment, and okay, so this how. No, we're not going to finish, Baruch Hashem, but we start. So part number 2, and it says, in what manner it is permitted to wear garments? In what manner it is permitted to wear garments? Okay, so let's see. The preceding discussion pertains only to defining what is a considered garment. So we need to give a definition of garment. Okay, once it is established that item is considered a genuine garment, there is a normal mode of dress for at least some people. It may be worn for any purpose at any time. Thus, it is permitted to wear a winter coat during the summer. It is also permitted to wear a garment, even if one's sole intention is to protect his clothing. For example, it is permitted to wear a raincoat over the winter coat, even for the sole purpose of protecting the winter coat from becoming wet. Furthermore, it is permitted to wear a garment, even if one's intention is solely to transport the garment from one domain to another. For example, wearing a tallis after davening in order to bring it home. Okay, so let's concentrate on this introduction because I have to build a strong base, right? So again, so we need to do to give the definition of what is a garment, and the garment, right? We said, what did we say? 1 second. Right. So we said that a garment, or like we're allowed to wear to clothe, to cover the person for the sake of modesty and dignity, to protect the body from elements and injury, right? And number 3, to prevent discomfort. Okay, so there is 3 reasons why we are allowed to wear these things that are called garments. So we're going to see, is it going to be called garments or not on Shabbos. Okay, once it is established that the item is considered genuine garment, it is normal mode of dress for some people. So, and it's very interesting. So he's very careful in his language, because even if I don't wear this garment, for example, at all, but other people would wear, right? Meaning that I'm also allowed. So even I think it's minority people would wear. So it is this piece is going to consider garment, and meaning that everybody can wear, right? And not only wear, but it may be worn for any purpose at any time, right? So it's very interesting. There is permitted to wear winter coat during the summer. So as we said, even to transport to another place. So you forgot to return to somebody his winter coat. So that's the best time in the summer. All right, or to protect his clothing. So right, meaning what? Like a coat, regular winter coat. right? Is it warm enough? But maybe it's raining, and it's a wool coat, so it's most likely it's going to get ruined. Not ruined, but at least saturated, right? So also not good. So you can wear on top of it your raincoat, right? But since raincoat is a garment anyway, right? So you can wear by itself, or you can wear on top of another coat. And as we said before, you can wear multiple garments. Right? For example, when it's cold, you can wear 2 pair of socks. Right? There is no problem. Or two shorts. So some people wear two like sweat shorts or something. Right? Right? There is no problem. There is no problem. That's a normal way of wearing things. Okay. So, and plus, as he said, you can even wear it for the sole intention to transport it. Okay. And a good example is as the talus, right? Okay, you're going to shul. Some people, I mean, they have expensive talus. They don't want to leave it, right, in the shul for whatever reason. I'm not sure what would be the reason. I don't know, whatever. But in my shul, I don't think anything ever disappeared. People just don't take other people's things, especially talus. I mean, unless it's, I don't know, what is it, like silver, even the silver, like if you put it in a pouch, nobody's going to take it. I don't know. Right, but some people, I saw it, some people come in a talus, so that's understandable, but then they can go back in a talus. Is it like as if you say when in the fall or spring when it's windy? Yeah, maybe it's like an additional layer of clothing. But in the summer, for sure, you don't want additional layer of clothing. So of course, it is only to transport at home. But there is no problem, right? Because you wear it as a garment. So you would wear this big talus as the way of you pray. Okay, in the manner of you pray, not just drape over the shoulder. And that's it. Okay. So continue. So next, subsection something. Oh no. Okay. So now whatever we said in this introduction. So now we're going to explain in greater details. And the first one is wearing garments in unusual fashion. The only restriction to apply to wearing genuine articles of clothing that is worn in a normal fashion. Right. It is forbidden to wear any garment outdoors in unusual fashion, for that is like carrying a garment. To illustrate, it is forbidden to wear the folded talus draped over one's shoulders, since it is not usual to wear the folded talus. I'm not sure why somebody would do it, but right. So, have I ever seen? Like a scarf, I guess. Maybe so somebody that does not want to put it. Maybe is going to get dirty or something, so they would wear it like a scarf. So this is not allowed, of course. Right. So meaning whatever we wear in a normal way of wearing, or like sometimes some younger kids, they would wear the jacket like on the shoulders, right? Without the sleeves. That's also not normal way of wearing. Okay. And the problem would be, the bigger problem, if it would be like a blown off from the body, right? And then if, let's say, there is no air, that's it. You cannot pick it up. Why? Because it is as we said in the beginning of this chapter, some time ago, and I think today is a third class or whatever class on this chapter. So we said that you're not allowed to transport from one domain to another, meaning from private to Carmelists, from Carmelists to private, from public to private, right? And otherwise, and we said that plus it is not allowed to transport in a public or Carmelist domain for Amos. So we say it's like 7 feet, 2 meters, less, right? Right. So if jacket falls off his shoulders, it's like he brought it here. Period. So the action is finished. So meaning that he took this garment from the private domain and put it in the public domain. So action is completed. So now if he's going to pick it up and try to walk in this public domain, so for every 4 amos here, so it's a separate violation, which is a problem. Okay. I mean, the separate violation if he stops. If he does not stop, it's a different story. Okay, so continue. However, it is permitted to wear a folded garment outdoors if it is unusual for people to wear the garments. It is usual for people to wear garments folded in that fashion. For example, if garments is too long, it is permitted to shorten a bit by rolling it up. When it's wear it outdoors. So, for example, you have I don't know, what would be roll up? Sleeves, right? Sleeves are too long, right? You have a raincoat. Usually they're not like they one size fits all. Like so sometimes the sleeves are too long. So you can roll up the sleeves. So in some sense, as he said, it's a normal way of wearing. Not everybody is going to wear like this, but some people would. Okay. Thus, women may go outdoors. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Thus, a woman may go up outdoors with a skirt rolled up at the waist to ensure that it does not protrude from the beneath of the coat. Okay. So meaning right. So her coat is not that long and long skirt. I mean, if you have I'm not sure what's the problem. If you have very long to the floor skirt, there is no problem whatsoever because the skirt is long enough and the coat is shorter. But if she has a shorter skirt, that would be a problem. I mean, with men, it looks a little ridiculous, I would say, when they had a regular jacket, like suit jacket, and the jacket, like a winter jacket that they use, is shorter than the jacket. It's you have to grow up a little, right? It looks ridiculous. Okay. Right, but for women there is no problem to roll up the skirt. So I mean, just pull up, I don't know, whatever they do. So it's not going to. Okay, so they would roll up on the waist. Okay, no problem. Or right, so to long or to prevent them. So again, the women in the skirts prevent them from becoming soiled with mud. Okay, these garments are commonly worn while rolled up or folded up. Okay, so but not rolled up, folded up completely, but somewhat for some specific constructive purpose. According to some poskim, it is permitted to go outdoors with one short sleeve rolled up, short sleeve rolled up, since it is common for people to roll up their short sleeves. However, note, okay, before we do any conclusion. However, Gaon Harav Moshe finds in Zatzal rule that it should not wear the garment. That one should not wear a garment when roll up the sleeves outdoors. Right. So basically, we're talking about situation. The person has a long short, right, and he rolled up and make it short sleeve. Okay. So in some sense, a person is carrying, in some sense, the sleeves. Right, they're attached to the short itself. Yeah, they're attached. Right, but Rabbi Moshe Feinstein said, "Don't do it." Okay. Similarly, Similarly, some poskim permit wearing jacket over the one shoulders, as I said. Right, there is the sleeves hanging freely. However, one must be careful not to wear the jacket in this manner on the day, on the windy day. Right, for the wind might blow off, and one might come to carry its 4 cubits in the public domain. I mean, for sure, he's going to carry 4 cubits in the public domain. You understand? So it is a problem. So the poskim who allowed, but commentary. Not the Rav Moshe finds in Zatzal. However, a rule that it is forbidden in all circumstances for one to wear a jacket over the one's shoulders with the sleeves hanging freely. Right, so we go by Rav Moshe finds. But I'm not sure why somebody would do it, because it's hot. And if it's going to fall down, like fall, most likely people automatically would pick it up and start carrying. So of course it's not worth it. It's not that hot, even it's very hot, so you can survive. It's only right. It's not hotter than Gehinom. Let's put it this way. Okay. So this sleeves is a problem, and this jacket is a problem. Okay, so continue. Wearing 2 identical garments. As we said, there's no problem, because, I mean, we're going to see what he said, but usually for people, there's no problem, right? Wear two pair of socks, right? 2 pair of, I mean, not on Shabbos, but if it's very cold, a person would wear 2 pair of gloves, for example, or 2 pairs of undershorts because it's cold. No problem. It is permitted to wear 2 identical articles of clothing, one on top of the other, provided that people sometimes wear the 2 garments. For example, it's common to wear 2 sweaters. 2 sweaters when it's very cold. 2 sweaters. Or 2 pair of socks in very cold weather. Right. Therefore, it is permitted to wear 2 of these garments even in a warmer weather. And even for the purpose merely transporting one of them to a different location. Right, so meaning, to the different location. Okay. However, people never wear 2 belts over one another, or 1 hat on top of the other. So that's okay. So 2 garments. Let's go back a little. When it's cold, 2 sweaters, no problem, right? But what would be the problem? Something that the people don't do, like 2 belts. Usually, 1 belt is enough to hold up the trousers. That's why we're going to see there's a problem with the second belt. And I know they sold Judaica store this elastic, right? Elastic with the carabines, whatever they call it, on the ends, in order to hold key on Shabbos. That's not proper, because you don't need that belt. So 1 second. So, but 2 belts people don't wear, and people don't wear 2 hats. I have a friend, so he has I think I told about him. So he has many different health issues. So this tzaddik would wear. So he's so thin, he's so fragile, that he's always cold because of his health condition. So he would wear 2 hats. Right, I mean, normal hat, and under that, ski hat, for sure. Right. I mean, but most of the people, again, it depends what hat, like dress hats, that you would use for prayer. Right. No, nobody's going to use, but other hats, yes, people sometimes wear. Like a ski hat. When it's one is thinner and one is thicker, and it's very cold outside. So that's the issue. So again, however, people never wear one belt over the other, or one on top of the other. Okay. Thus, the extra belt or hat cannot be considered part of the one's clothing, and it is forbidden to go outside while wearing one. Right. So, but the hat, like some people call it Shabbos hat. Some people wear these hats on the Shabbos. Some people don't wear these hats. Right? Some people wear these hats all the time, like a bigger hat. So the problem would be like a yarmulke. Why do you need yarmulke if you have? But we always say there is no problem. Some people pray in these hats, but some people remove this hat and put talis on top of the head. So for this you need yarmulke, of course. Okay, so part number 3, articles worn to prevent discomfort or shame. Okay, so one more thing. So now we go. Okay, so we're going to the third part. So first was to clothe, to protect body from elements, right, or injury, and number 3, to prevent discomfort. To prevent discomfort or shame. Okay, so let's see. As noted above, it is permitted to wear articles whose function is to prevent physical discomfort. This includes, for example, sanitary napkins, nursing pads, and underarm shields, which protects the wearer from discomfort by absorbing secretions. Okay. However, such articles cannot be considered bona fide garments, and accordingly, they may be worn only to prevent discomfort, but not for any other purpose. Okay. So again, the sanitary napkins, nursing pads, underarm shields. So right to catch these liquids, there is no problem. Secretion, they call absorbent secretion. There is no problem because it's to protect the person's dignity. But since they are not garments, are they attached to the garment? Sometimes, yeah, they could be attached to the garment, right? If they attach to the garment, it's a little different story. Okay. But if they're not attached, they can be worn only for this purpose. I mean, meaning if a person does not need that, so right, so you're not allowed to wear them. Thus, Rabbi Gaon, Harav, Moshe Feinstein, and Zatzal rules that it is forbidden for a woman to wear sanitary napkins outdoors during the final part of her period, right? Meaning there is no secretions. When secretion is very light, or maybe not existent, right? If there is no risk of discomfort, and the napkins serve only to protect your undergarment from becoming soiled. So to protect the one garment by another garment, there is no problem, as we said on the previous page about this raincoat on top of the winter coat, right? There is no problem, but here this sanitary napkin is not a garment. Okay. However, if this does not pertain, but this does not pertain to adhesive sanitary napkins, right? Since they are attached to the underwear. So, but if they are attached, it's becomes the subordinate to the garment itself, right? So those may be worn at all times. Okay. See below section 5. Okay, we're going to get to it. All right. So if it's attached, no problem. By itself, it needs to justifiable reason why to allow. Okay. Thus, a woman who is at the end of the period wishes to go outdoors on Shabbos, she should wear either an adhesive napkins or several pairs of underwear. Okay, and undergarments. Okay. Similarly, a woman may not wear nursing pads or underarm shields outdoors in instances where there is no need to prevent the physical discomfort, only to protect your clothing. Okay. Right. So again, but if they attach somehow, it would be leniency. Okay. So physical discomfort, it's closing, but okay. But if you would be able to see like this secretion, it would be very embarrassing, of course. So we would allow it here. Okay. Continue. Having defined what is considered clothing and what is in what fashion clothing may be worn, let us turn the attention to the rabbinical restriction upon wearing certain garments outdoors. Right. So our rabbis were afraid. So like the main goal like of this rabbinical restrictions. I mean, at least I don't want to say them. One of the goals, so we would not get to carry the items in the public domain. Meaning what? That there is somewhat that you would want to remove and carry in your hand. Okay. Okay. So I mean, I think the most like classic example, I think like this was this sunglasses. So some people wear sunglasses like even at night, for example. Fortunately, I mean, I'm afraid to ask, but it's obvious that when I go to shul, so it's like very early in the morning, very early. So I meet this guy, right? Not just so he's jogging. So he's a so happy person. He always say hi, good morning to everybody. So nice, like smile, very nice. So, but recently, like maybe two weeks ago, he started. So it's very dark. When I go, like very dark. So like it's night, almost night. So this poor guy, he's wearing like the thick, like very dark sunglasses. So if a person wears these sunglasses at like almost like at night. So I mean, you understand that something is very wrong with his eyes, unfortunately. I mean, he's very friendly, very good, nice guy, right? But the problem is like if a person got used to these glasses, or a person has this medical condition, when this sunlight can hurt him or her, like even no sunlight, just a bright light without sun can hurt them. There is no problem. Right, they can wear sunglasses, but if they only some people wear for fashion, that would be a problem. So if they don't not used to wear these sunglasses, so they might if it become dark, so they might take them and wear and hold them in their hands, right, and walk in the public domain. I mean, it's just one of the examples. So we have to be careful. So in case of this poor guy, for example, like he's not a Jew, but just an example. The person who has the issue would not remove these glasses, right? The sunglasses, but other people, they might. So for him, or people with his condition would be allowed, but other people not so much. Okay. So section number 4, other restriction concerning garments. The sages forbid wearing certain garments in the public domain for the fear that one might remove them and thus come to carry them 4 cubits in the public domain. The following items are prohibited, but not only 4 cubits in the public domain. When you get to the place, so you right to your final destination. So, like for example, home. You welcome towards home. So now you would bring these glasses, let's say sunglasses, to make simple, from a public domain or commoners into the private domain. So right, so there are two separate prohibitions. Walking through the public domain, holding them. I mean, of course, if a person never stopped in public domain, and it's possible. So that's one story. But if he stopped, for example, there is traffic light, right? So and in some places, I mean, we saw it only in California. I believe there is no such a thing, I think. Right? So there are places there that you have to push the button in order to cross the road, right? For for a pedestrian. So otherwise it could be like this for an hour, maybe 2 hours, and unless if you think about it, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. Why should the whole traffic stops if there are no pedestrians? But if pedestrians come, they push, and they, like in a few seconds you got yourself a green light. So you're walking on Shabbos. So what are you going to do? Nothing, right? Nothing you can do. So you're going to wait or just cross on a red light or something. Okay. So, but why I saying all of this? Because if person removed like sunglasses, for example, and he will continue walking, he never stopped in public domain. So meaning he never completed an action. So the action is you start, like you picked up something in the public domain, you walked for amos or more, and you put it down. What is put it down? You stopped, right? So meaning what I'm trying to say, if you get to this like traffic light and you stop, so that's it. You did melacha. Okay. So continue. Okay, so A, garments that my subject wear to ridicule. So those following items are prohibited. Okay, so prohibited. The list A. Sages forbid a person to go outdoors while wearing garment that might subject him to ridicule. For the fear that he might remove the garment and then carry it in a public domain. This prohibition applies even in the bona fide garment. For example, it is forbidden to go outdoors while wearing only one shoe, unless the foot is injured. I'm not sure why would somebody go outdoors in one shoe. Maybe he injured one foot, like right. It was there was new shoes or something. I don't know, and he cannot wear that shoe. So he said, I prefer to wear at least one. So instead of walking in socks. Okay, it just makes sense. Okay, so but I would say it is forbidden. Why? Because people might taunt the wearer, and he might therefore to be inclined to remove a shoe and carry it. So he's not ready to throw out the shoes, but to remove and carry, like because of the embarrassment they can. So it's very, very unfortunate. The person knows like the today Shabbos, but because of the embarrassment, he might get to do it. Okay. So continue. Next one is B. Garment that might fall off. So that's okay. So that's one example that we discussed before. This jacket. I mean, even in my mind, even if it's not windy, but person like turned somebody like signal, the car was like signal to signal to somebody, and he turned like jerking way, and guess what? The garment fell, the jacket fell off. Right. So. Okay. So again, the sages forbade a person to wear in public domain a loose garment that has a tendency to fall off, since one made to come to carry it in 4 cubits public domain. For example, it is forbidden to wear a loosely fitting hat, since the wind might well lift it off the wearer's head, and he might carry it in the public domain. So even if he's going to let's say the wind blew off his head, right, to the ground, he picks it up. So it would be that he brought it into the public domain from his house. Now it is in public domain, and he puts on his hat in the public domain, and he continues and then he brings in a private domain. So that's absolutely forbidden. Right, so meaning don't wear these loose-fitting hats. I mean, today if you have this, they call it Jewish hats, Jewish hats. It's simpler because they usually fit. fit perfectly. So I mean, I think they sell it every half size or something, like for sure. Like if you just measure your head and you get the perfect fit size, hopefully, right? But in olden days, people, like, the industry was not as strong, and if you go, like, the people who were buying in, like, even handmade hats. So meaning what? That it was like approximate sizes, and right, and person would buy, and that's why I think we said, or we did not say, I don't remember. So it is allowed to put some paper, like the newspaper in olden days. I remember my father, Alav Shalom, he had this in his, like, he used to wear this cap, and he would have like a newspaper, like, behind the brim, because it's like it one size fits all, basically, right? But in order to make it tighter, that not only him, but that's what many people used to do. So this paper would be allowed to have there. Why? Because you don't have any intention to remove it, right? That's like your improvement of the garment, like a permanent improvement of the garment. Okay. So, but if it's loose, sure, it can be blown off the person's head. However, concerning a man, this applies only when he's wearing yarmulke under the hat. For only then is there a legitimate concern that he might carry his hat once it falls off. If he is not wearing yarmulke, there is no concern that he will carry the hat, since he will not walk around bareheaded. Okay, so that's very interesting point. So we said this loose hat. Okay, so they said, but look, it depends. If he would wear yarmulke under it, so and under the hat, so the hat was blown off, he would get it into his hand and walk with it, right? But if he does not have a yarmulke, that's the only head covering. They say it's less of a concern. So because he's not going to walk without head covering, he would put this hat on his head, and he would not wear like carry it in his hand. Okay, it helps. Right. So I mean, very interesting logic. So if it's he has a yarmulke, is not allowed. If he does not, it is allowed. So and that's some people. They have like in a shul, they have, for example, a different yarmulke that they wear, no problem. So some smaller one, right? Next is C. Articles often removed to display to others. The sages forbade a person to go outdoors while wearing jewelry for the fear that the wearer might remove in order to show the other person. We will discuss the subject and length in the following chapter. So I mean, it's a separate story, this jewelry. Let me check time quickly, 1 second. Get the next section. Okay, I guess let's continue. Okay, so we're up to section number 5, and our topic is items appended to garments. Items appended to garments. Okay, so that's very interesting. Having learned thus far what is defined as a garment, and what the restriction applied to the wearing of garment, let us turn out the subject of the item attached to apparel. Okay. Obviously, certain articles sewn into the garment, such as buttons, are considered the intrinsic part of the garment. And since one may walk outdoors while wearing the clothing, one may walk outdoors while clothing that it's button with a button attached. Equally obvious is the fact that one may not attach just any item to a garment and walk to a different domain on a pretext of wearing in double quotes, that item. For example, if one pinned a sheet of paper to his coat, the paper would not be viewed as a part of his coat. Rather, it would remain in the independent article that one would be carrying as he wore the coat. So let's try to. It's like a little. It is not a little. It is an introduction. So let's do this introduction again, and we try to understand before we start the next section. It says, having learned thus far about what is defined as a garment and what restriction apply to wearing of the garment, let us turn to the subject of items attached to apparel, meaning it is a clothing and it is something extra. So what could be something extra? As we said, the button. So is it garment? It's not a garment, but it attached for some specific function of the garment. But also there is some, at least on a men's shorts, dress shorts, there is like on the bottom of the shorts there is like one or two extra buttons. Are they used do they have any like practical use? Absolutely not. You understand? So that's are they attached to the garment, but it's not like this button that I can close. So it's useless in some sense, right? Or sometimes you have a belt, right? Women have the dress with a belt, or a man has a raincoat with a belt. Also, it is attached. It's not a garment itself, right? But it is attached to the garment. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Obviously, so certain articles sewn into the garment, such as buttons, are considered intrinsic part of the garments. Buttons are good. And since one may walk outdoors while wearing the clothing, so even if you're using the buttons, not using the button, for example, on a coat, right? You have a coat and it's warm outside, so you're not going to close the buttons, but it's still attached, no problem. So which is a very good example. Okay. Equally obvious that the fact that one may not attach just any item to the garment, so meaning whatever people usually attach is good, but like as he said, to attach the sheet of paper or something would not be allowed. Okay, would not be considered wearing. Okay, so continue. So we're still on this introduction. However, there are many articles which a status is not so clearly established. For example, a spare button sewn into the coat considered part of the coat, or the independent articles, and one carries them as he wears coat, right? Coat, shorts, that doesn't matter. So extra buttons. Maybe if they're independent, so meaning that the person would be carrying them. Of course, it's not. When said the bottom line, not. But still, it's a good question. Good halachic question. We must therefore define which types of the appendages can be considered part of the garment and which to which they are attached. Okay, so which is a good question. Which is very, very good question, right? So all of these appendages, are they considered with garments or not? Okay, and in Halacha they actually discuss whether the pockets are considered part of the garments or not. It's very interesting, right? I'm not sure if I don't remember if you're going to learn about pockets, but it's very interesting. So some pockets like you have a short pocket, so it's like for sure it is a part of the garment. But for example, if you have pants, so like it's only a hole on the side of the pants, and there is like some independent material like sewn into these pockets, into your pants. So is it extra? Like, is it garment or not a garment? Is it garment as itself, but that attached to your pants, or it's a part of the pants? So that's Halachic question, right? So and where it's play a role in determining the base of a muktzah. So what exactly became base? Only your pocket or the whole pants? I mean, it's okay. We're going to learn. A. Items intrinsic to the garment. Items intrinsic to the garment. Certain articles are considered intrinsic parts of the garment, and the garment to which these articles are attached may be worn outdoors, even if the articles are not serving any functional need. Buttons used to fasten the coat are intrinsic part of the coat. Okay. So I mean, can you wear the coat without buttons? Yes, but people would see you that there's something wrong when buttons are missing, right? It's usually not a good sign of a person. Like the person is a mess. Like people who don't watch after themselves, like that's they would have the buttons missing. Okay. Right, but otherwise it's intrinsic part of the coat. Accordingly, it is permitted to wear a coat outdoors, even if it's unbuttoned. For unused buttons are nevertheless part of the coat. So that's simple. I mean, it's simple, but we need the definition, because people look at the garment and the coat and say, what's the difference? So this is part of it's not part of the coat. It was added to the coat. So first they sew the coat, right? Produce the coat, and then they add buttons. So, right? But it's intrinsic part of the coat. Pockets too are intrinsic part of the garment. Accordingly, it is permitted to wear a garment outdoors, even if the pockets serve no purpose, right? So it is I'm not talking about this I'm not sure what it's called, like on top garment, like a pocket, but like inside, like or inside of the coat, and in from inside you have a special material that is created to create pockets. So even if you're not going to use this pocket, so meaning we say intrinsic, meaning that it is needed by the coat, but it does not matter. You can go out with these pockets. For example, they're empty and does not put your hands in them. Okay, so empty because you're not allowed to carry, but you may be so like when it's cold, when it is cold, so we put our hands in the pocket, because men don't wear gloves in the winter. Okay. Similarly, it is permissible to wear a jacket with a hood attached. That's another good example. To it, even the hood is not in use. If the coat containing zipper intended for lining, even if it is lining is not attached. So very good examples. So hood, for example, you have a jacket with a hood, and even if this hood detachable, right? So some jacket has detachable hood. Still, it is an intrinsic part of the garment, and even you have strip linings, right? In strip linings, so you might remove the strip linings, but this zipper from one part is there, right? So, but it's sort of, in some sense, it's sort of no purpose whatsoever, unless you want to attach the lining, but there is no problem. It's considered to be intrinsic part. Okay. Some poskim said that it is also permitted to go outdoors with a garment that has a spare button sewn inside it. Right, as I said, this example is a short. But as we said, some poskim. Okay. But they're of so negligible value. So for sure it's part of the garment. For since the garment are mass produced in this fashion, the spare buttons are considered intrinsic part of the garment, and is permitted to go outdoors with them, even though they serve no purpose. Okay, so meaning that mass production, it's actually help us very much. Why? Because all of the garments is produced in this fashion. So it's not like we edit, like we saw these two additional buttons. No, it was produced like that. So and it's industry standard. So there is no problem. We will later see an additional reason for this to permit this. Okay, and B, and we do B. 1 second. Okay, no, you know what? I think we can stop here because B is a really different topic. All right, so we can stop here. But as I said, this topic is very long. Yeah, very long. Baruch Hashem, very long, and why? Because it's very practical, very practical. So unless you learn these things deep inside, right, and then review it and review it and review it, so you would not know what to do, right? What garments you can wear, and is it decoration, like some embroidery, right? This and that. So is it allowed, not allowed? How it was attached, right? All right. So let's perfect timing. Let's take a 5 minutes break and we continue with other topics. Today is a story night. Story night. So we continue with our book Varevna. When we read the story and actually halacha in these stories, and we try to understand the depth of Jewish wisdom, Torah wisdom. Okay, so the next, so we're on Parsha Emor, and the next story answering the Kaddish to the Torah antagonist. Vayikra 22:32 says, "It shall be sanctified among Bnei Israel. I shall be." So Hashem said, "So I shall be sanctified among these Bnei Israel," and Kaddish is, of course, sanctification, and it happens. This story happens every day. Guess what? Okay, but not exactly this, but this is situation. The challenge. The Torah scholar suggested to members of the minyan that after reciting the words all the study of the laws that each day that we are sure the place in the world to come, right? At the end of the shacharis, they pause to study Torah law for a few words of mussar. So, and that's what I actually witnessed in some places, and it's very interesting. So one individual would take up upon himself, prepare halacha, very short, like maybe a minute or 2 minutes to catch everybody attention, quick. He would say very, very, very fast, right, in a loud voice, and then everybody listen, learn, and after that you're allowed to say this Mishnah, and after Mishnah you say Kaddish Derabanan. Right. So most of the members were pleased with this idea to say extra Kaddish, right? So what could be better? But there was one person who was annoyed by the delay in davening. So in my mind, so if you are annoyed by the lines of the just walk out, nobody is holding you. So we want to say Esther Tehillim, we want to learn, we want to do this. Okay, you don't like it, just go away. Whenever the Rav began to speak, he would groan loudly, mutter complaints, and yawn in the most offensive manner. I mean, as I said, you want to leave, but this is very offensive. His impatience proved disruptive, preventing others from concentrating on the laws that they were studying. In all other matters, he was an observant Jew, right? The Torah study, however, was an unbearable burden to him. And there are some people, I'm not sure how can you be observant Jew and without learning Torah. But how, in my mind, how would you know what to do if you never learn? or you learn, but it was a long time ago, very long time ago. How? I'm not sure, but okay. So let's say he has a good memory. He grew up in a religious family, in a religious household, so he knows everything. Okay, no problem. Not everything, but his basics. Okay, but Torah study, he cannot bear. Okay, yet. To the Torah scholar, great surprise, it was always this very same antagonist who would recite the Kaddish D'Rabbanan after the Torah class. So it's a little too much. Right? First, he does not want to learn, but after this learning session, they say a quick Mishnah, and you can say the Kaddish D'Rabbanan. It's very like a very holy thing, right? And it says that. I think last time I heard from Rabbi Rubenschlitter. So Talmud says, just a second. I think it says he told the story. I don't remember how they connected. Was it from a Talmud or not? I might be from a midrash. I don't remember. But it was the story went like that. A person, this great rabbi, he met Eliyahu Hanavi, and Eliyahu Hanavi was like leading 4,000 camels, right, loaded, completely loaded. And this great rabbi said, Eliyahu, what is these camels? Where's the load? What are you carrying? And he said, I'm carrying the wrath of HaKadosh Baruch Hu against people who speak between Kaddish and Baruch Hu. But meaning it's one after another. So Kaddish and Baruch Hu and other section of the davening and who speaks during the recitation of Kaddish. And unfortunately, the people like that have to shiz them like crazy people, right? Right. And so he said, and why the world still exists? And he said the world still exists because people say Hey Shmei Rabbah, and answer the Kaddish D'Rabbanan after the studying of Haggadah. Very interesting. So Haggadah, like it's like they say Haggadah, like Midrashim, and then they say this Mishnah. Okay. So this guy, so meaning other Kaddish Yasam, can usually say person who is in mourning, or somebody would ask him to cover for somebody else, right? So I mean, I try not to do it, but somebody like in my group lost. I don't know who. I don't remember. Maybe his sister he lost. I don't remember somebody, and he was saying Kaddish, and sometimes he would not be able to get to the prayer. So he would ask me to say the Kaddish for him. Okay, I mean, right. So on the one-time basis, there is no problem. But Kaddish D'Rabbanan, it's not like that. Kaddish D'Rabbanan, usually we give precedence to somebody is in mourning, but technically anybody can say Kaddish D'Rabbanan, right? It's a long Kaddish, right? So this guy would like to say this Kaddish, like not normal. He does not want this precedent, right? In order to say Kaddish to learn this halacha, but Kaddish he likes. Okay. Okay. And he wondered, right? So this yet the Torah scholars. It was a great surprise. It was always the very same antagonist who would recite the Kaddish D'Rabbanan after the Torah class. He wondered if he should even answer Amen to this person ironic prayers on behalf of the rabbis, right, and the students. So the D'Rabbanan, as we said, like you understand from the name, it's because of the rabbis and the students and those who study Torah. And this guy, he does not like he antagonist, right? He does not like the Torah study, right? So after having been disrespectful to the Torah study, so he tried to disrespect it, to disrupt it, and now like we have to say Amen. It's contradiction. Solution: Rabbi Zilberstein cited halacha from Shulchan Aruch, Yoreh De'ah 334, chapter 43. It's not just section 43. Siv. 24 offenses. A person can be subjected to, for 24 offenses, a person can be subjected to excommunication, nidui, right? For offending the Torah scholar, for mocking even one rabbinic law, and it goes without saying biblical law as well, right? For preventing the communal from performing the mitzvah. So, and this guy, of course, he's in all three categories. Again, for mocking even rabbinic law, for offending Torah scholar meaning this rabbi who gives this lecture, right? And for preventing community for performing mitzvah. So everybody wants to do mitzvah, listen to one halacha. I mean, usually it's 1 minute, 2 minutes. Like when everybody's wrapping that tefillin, so use there a person in the synagogue anyway. He's not going anywhere. So right. So, but there is like sick people. Okay. The Shulchan Aruch also states in section 6, Beis Din has authority to refuse his son a bris milah, refuse to bury him in when he dies, expel his children from school, and eject his wife from the shul until he accepts their rulings. So, I mean, today I'm not sure if it's so easy, I mean, to enforce it, but let's read anyway, right? So, Beis Din has an authority to refuse his son bris milah, meaning they said nobody is from local, what is it, moils, right? So they're not going to do bris milah. Refuse to bury him when he dies. Then go find yourself another grave, right? It's like expel his children from school and eject his wife from the shul until he accepts their ruling. I mean, after he dies, it's very unlikely, but we can see from here. So the Beis Din has a power to press a person. Okay. In our case as well, after having warned the antagonist, to stop his improper comments, the Rav of the shul can announce that Amen should not be recited to his Kaddish, just as the Beis Din can refuse the son bris milah and accept or expel children from school. Of course, we understand that it's going to start like a big war, but yeah, we have at least we can we have to like warn the person if needed. That's what we should do. But what I think, just expect the war. It's not going to go unnoticed, basically. Even if a Torah scholar who teaches the daily halacha is not officially the Rav of the shul, he may still encourage the congregation not to answer Amen to the Antagonist Kaddish. In light of the verse, he who turns his ear from the law and Torah, his prayer are also detested. It's from the Mishle 28:9. It's also the Yaraba 151, section 6. Meaning, I mean, he does not have to be a Rav. He's this person who teaches them. I mean, even a regular Jew, that doesn't matter. He's a leader in this teaching. Doesn't matter. He's Rav, not Rav. He just he's reading you halacha from the book. He's not passing anything, right? So he might encourage the congregation not to answer Amen. They must answer Amen to Yizgadal v'Yiskadash, and also answer Amen Yehei Shmei Rabba, since these are prayers for the honor of the kingdom of heaven. Very interesting. So meaning the first Amen and Yehei Shmei Rabba. Okay, but they should be told not to answer Amen to Al Israel. So Al Israel is like Kaddish. The Rabbanam is built on regular Kaddish, right? Like regular Kaddish, and it's like in insertion, and this insertion is start with Al Israel. or Oisa Shalom, right? Oisa Shalom when we take 3 steps back, right? Since these are ordinary prayers and the prayers of the Torah antagonists are detested. Right, so it's not so simple. Alright, so let's stop here. Second, so let's do quick halacha. So today we continue with what? With Hilchas Yichud, and we started a new section, section D, and now a big topic is the exemption of Ishto Beshamarto. So meaning when the man accompanied by his wife, or the opposite. Okay, so we go to the first scenario, D1. If the wife is away, but in the same city, Ishto Beer. Okay, so meaning before that, we're talking about the situation when man was in a city, but the wife was in seclusion with somebody else. Okay, so now it's opposite. According to some poskim, the example Ishto Meshamarto is similar to Baloch Bir, meaning when husband in the city, and is effective as long as the wife in the same city. Ishto Bir. Okay, Bir. There is, even if she is not at home, nor even on the premises, this is because the woman is naturally home-based, tending to gravitate toward your home in the course of the day. Very interesting. And hence could be expected to return at any time. This factor mitigates the arousing conductiveness of any yichud with the man of the house. We have to read it again. It's very, very interesting. So again, you see how our sages knew the psychology of a woman. It's unbelievable. So again, according to some poskim, the exemption so Ishto Mishamarta, meaning the wife is is with him. It's not in the city; it's with him. It's similar to Baloch Bir, and is in effect as long as the wife in the same city, Ishto Beir. There is, even if she's not home, not even on the premises. So she's not home. It's not outside in doing yard work or something. This is because woman is naturally home-based, right? It's nature for women to stay home, which is very praiseworthy, tended to gravitate toward her home in the course of the day. So meaning whatever she does during the day, she would try to go home. Very interesting. And hence could be expected to return anytime. So women are attracted to their homes like a magnet. Right, very interesting. This factor mitigates the arousing conductiveness of any yichud with the man of the house. Okay, man of the house. Continue. Based upon this view, yichud would be permitted in a home of a man whose wife happened to be away. For example, shopping in the same city at the time. So she went shopping. Maybe something's changed, so she would come and say, I forgot my wallet. I forgot, I don't know, my shopping list. I forgot something. Right? However, even or she would come there. Like it happened to me a few times. I was planning to buy the vegetables, and I came to the store, and I saw the line to the register. I said, not today. That's it. So what I'm planning to buy, yes. So we bought another day. Doesn't matter. So meaning just because she went shopping does not mean that that she's going to stay there. Or for example, there are a few people out on the cash register, and only 2 of them are working. Out of 7, only 2 working. Okay. So if you have nothing else to do in your life and stay in these lines, yes, but otherwise people will go home. Right. Okay. Based upon this view, yichud would be permitted in a home of many of men whose wives is to be away. Okay. However, even if this linear opinion only applied when Only apply when. 1 second. Number 1, the husband is at home where his wife could be expected to appear. There is not in another's home or location, meaning that the wife knows where the husband is, and right, and it is he is at home, meaning she has a key, she can come unannounced, right? And number 2, the man's wife is away only for a brief period. There is visiting local relatives, shopping, errands, etc. So meaning it's not like she went to some long procedure. Okay, so continue. The leniencies of Ishto Beir, so meaning the wife is in a town, does not apply in cases of Yichud with the man at his office or place of work, because although the woman will instinctively gravitate toward their home, she will not necessarily have the same tendency toward another location. Meaning to home she would return, but to his office she would not, even if she knows where he is. The leniency of Ishto Beir also does not apply when the wife is away at work or on a long trip, etc., and could not be expected to return home within the definite period of time. So meaning these things were actually they work one way, meaning when it applied to wife in the house and man is outside of the house, but it does not apply to in this case when man in the house and the woman is at work, right? But opposite, it does work. We said even was lenient opinion. Even he never comes home and he has an office job 5 to 9 to 5. He never comes home. Still, right? There was some opinions that we could rely upon. Okay. But not in this case, because a woman would gravitate toward home, but not toward other locations. However, some poskim do not concur with this lenient view. They contend that Ishto Meshamarta applies only wives is actually present with the man or in near premises. Okay, so see detail. So I mean, other poskim see it clearly as from what we started last time. Right, so meaning that she's there, whether in the same premises or like around, like he has a doctor's appointment, she's in the lobby, or she's downstairs. So she said, I need to go downstairs, like outside to make a phone call. Okay. So, okay, number 1. Halachic conclusions regarding the wife in the same city. Ishto Beir. Okay, I love this book. I mean, of course, there are opinions, but we need to know halacha lemaisa, like what should we do? In pressing on difficult circumstances, one may rely upon the lenient view regarding yichud with a man whose wife is out in the same city. In the case of rabbinic yichud, right? So not biblical yichud, meaning biblical yichud, just to remind us, is one man and one woman. But in case of rabbinical prohibition, rabbinical 2 men or 2 women, right? Okay. Continue. Examples. If necessary, a reputable Torah observant man is permitted to remain at home alone with his female cousin, while his wife away shopping, visiting, as long as she is known to be in the same city. Right, so, right, we're not talking him with a strange woman or something, right? So him and his female cousin, okay. Okay, so, but the woman is in the city, so in case of the need, his cousin has no place to stay, etc. Okay. Next example. Similar girls boarding in a private home may remain, if necessary, in a house with the head of the household. If he is reputable Torah observant man, while his wife is away shopping or visiting the same city. Right. Shopping or visiting the same city. Okay. So I'm like subsection or something. Ishto Beir, when the husband is not in his home, right? So now, right, not at his home, somewhere else. So as we said, the leniency is almost cancelled. However, it's noted above the leniency ishtobir cannot be an exempt cases of Yichud when the husband is not at home. So she would be willing to come home, right? But not to other places. Gravitate toward home. Love this expression. Or even at home, when the man's wife is away at work, right, or a long trip, etc., and could not be expected to return home within that period of time. Right. So these are two exceptions not going to apply here. Right. When man is not in his home, he's somewhere else in the office, for example, his office, or when a wife is it's known that she's not going to come home anytime soon. So she went to doctor's appointment, and it's always late. Like I know the dentist. I mean the dentist that I go, he's very good. Good specialist, and in order to get appointment to him, you have to wait. I don't know how long, very long, sometimes few months, right? And I heard when you wait you see the people are calling and they beg the secretary, please give me the earliest appointment. Then she said, in 2 months. She said, no, I need now. Okay, she said, I apologize. What can I do? Go to hospital, go find another doctor. So he's a very great specialist on one hand. On the other hand, he's always late. So if somebody if you go to this kind of a doctor, so even your visit is like half an hour tops. So meaning that she's not going to be home for 2 hours at least. That's a problem. Examples. A man is not permitted to remain in his locked office after hours along with a secretary and receptionist, even if his office is located, is local. I'm sorry, his office is local, and his wife is in the same city. Similarly, a woman is not permitted to remain alone with after hours in a locked office with her male boss, even if the man's wife is in the same city. Ishtobir, right? And so it works both ways, right? To the man, to the woman. So meaning that we rely on the wife that she might come, but not in the office, right? And even if another female co-worker is present. So now, right. So, right, another female co-worker is present, so now it is for sure it's rabbinic. Okay. Continue. Next example. A man is not permitted to remain at home alone with his female cousin while wife is away at work or on a long trip, and therefore not expected to appear during that period. So she's going to be back in 7 hours or so. Similarly, seminary girls rooming in a private home are not permitted to remain in the house alone with the head of the household while his wife is away at work and not expected to be able to return during this period of time. So it's set hours. 9 to 5, and these young girls and this head of the household. Right. We stop here. We continue. So let's see questions. Okay, so the first question: how do we combat when Amalek comes closer and closer to us in various forms to plant the doubt in our hearts, to break us away from Hashem in the form of turning against our wrath? What is it that coming from someone? What is it coming from someone who we trusted and who we have maintained a close relationships due to the business relationships? When a person is speaking terrible about Torah, it's very interesting questions. Okay, so let's see. How can we combat when Amalek comes closer and closer to us in various forms, to plant doubt in our hearts, to break away from us from Hashem? So before we continue, I think we did the story. Did we do a story? I think we did a story about Yankel. Remember Yankel pushing the boulder? And Hashem personally told Yankel to push the boulder. Right, and he was pushing the boulder, and then Satan appeared and said, "Yankel, like everybody's laughing at you. Like, what do you do? I have a comedy break because of you, right? So all of the angels are looking at you, like, and what a fool that down there in the earth. He's pushing the stone, right? And he cannot move. And then Hashem said, Yankel, but I told you, like, did it tell it to move it? I just tell it to push it. And we said, like, I'm making the long story short, like a person, this Yankel, had the confusion. Hashem is talking to him. Okay, that's okay. But then Satan came, and he knows that it's Satan, and Satan pretends to be nice. And look, I'm on your side, and I'm so sympathetic to you. You're such a great guy, this and that. So that's how they start with the compliments. So you're so special. You're special, neshama. But whatever you're rabbi, you this, you that. It's not. Something is not good. So so why would somebody listen to the Satan, right? Right, especially when this Rav is okay. I mean, is a holy. Some people trying to come to me and say something about Rabbi. I was laughing their face. Like I said, you normal. I said, what exactly did he say to offend it? He said, no, he's here, but I have to. I said, what exactly, what? And I pressed the person, and they told me, I said, you normal? That's what you do? You want to lose your eternity because of this stupidity? So if you don't want to listen to him because you're a loser, that's what I said. Because you don't listen to him, be a loser, but go listen to a million other clowns. Right? Do whatever you want. But don't go against him. Don't go against a holy person because Hashem is on their side. He's going to make your life miserable. He's going to kill you. Not because of his honor, because his honor here, the person can be Michal Shabbos all his life and die in the age of 97 and a half or something, right? But if you go against Talmidei Chachamim, he is going to kill you. Why would you want to do that? So I have maybe 2 or 3 people over the years. They say, you don't know. I said, please stop with your craziness. Right? And right. I'm not sure if they start speaking about me, but it's irrelevant. It's absolutely irrelevant. Right? So when you know that somebody is like I'm right. This story about Yankel, Hashem is talking to you. Why would you have any doubts? So they go around, speak. Okay, right. We just ignore them. But okay, continue. Hashem in front against our Rav. Okay. Now, what if it is coming from someone who we trusted and who have maintained a closer relation due to the business relationships? I mean, that's a Satan job, to get in, to be trusted, and then try to say bad things about this this rabbi, especially Rav. That person speak terrible things. Okay, so we have to warn these people. Again, exactly as I said, you don't like it. You don't like him. Okay, it's your own business. So, right, he's not your wife to be liked. Okay, you should like your wife or your husband. Depends on the circumstance, and then that's it. Right, but don't go against them. It's not smart, at least to say the least. Right. Right. So we have to be very strong because. Because of what? Because Hashem is going to send us many tests, right? And if you read Midrashim about Abraham, going with Yitzchak to the Akedah. So he did not know where he was going. And in some, when Satan understood what was going on, nothing was said to him, but he understood some what is going on. So he became like a river, on the way to try to stop Abraham and Yitzchak to go to continue the journey. Right, Abraham went up to his nostrils and he said, Hashem, look, I want to do your will. Please help me. Please help me with that. And Hashem helped him. He removed the river. He removed the obstacles. But the step, to resist to Satan, is up to us. So first you do the actions and you pray to Hashem. You don't pray to Hashem and then do the action. You start the action. Yeah, of course you have to think about it, contemplate. You do the action and pray to Hashem and say, right, and to this person, and we can always scare them a little, right? Say, look, you're my friend, but what about if I'm going to tell this stuff about you? What are you saying? How about that? And see the reaction, right? Okay. So that doesn't mean that you're going to say, but still, it's possible, right? And maybe it would be even appropriate to warn Rav that somebody is going around his behind his back and spread the rumors, right? So at least he's warned, if the danger is coming from, I don't know, from some directions. Okay. So continue. Would a normal way of wearing the talis be considered wearing the similar to the shul, but without wearing on one's head, being able to carry from the private domain to the public domain? Yes. I mean, when I used to carry talis, I like to be over my head as well. I mean, because it's long. You see, the problem with talis is it's not a problem. It's all blessing. But when I buy talis, so I would wear I would try it on when it's on my head, and plus so it has to cover the most of your body, and plus the tzitzis also some lengths. You understand? So if I put my talis on my shoulders, so most likely my tzitzis is going to be on the floor. So I have to carry the tzitzis in my hands. Looks a little ridiculous. No, it does not mean that I care, but still, it's not convenient. But if I would wear on my head, there's no problem. Plus, in the winter, it's like a additional layer. You have it's actually for sure it's clothing. Right, but if it's shorter, like a smaller talis, yeah, there is no problem. You can wear without head covering. Yeah, without head, only on the shoulders. Yes. Okay, continue. So many people, when you see, that's my personal take. So if you have a maybe small shul, a big shul, at least a lot of people. So many people sit together. One next to each other, and then next to another person, and there are too many talismans. They can mix up. Even there is usually we do embroidery of our names, like our initial. I have initials on my talis on one corner. I mean, but not everybody do it, and then person did not look, and he likes it, he put it in his bag. But if you have a smaller show, not too many people. So when you see the part, everybody sit far away. So, there is no problem. Nobody is going to take somebody else's tiles by mistake. Right? But in a place where there are a lot of people, yes, most of the people will take the talises with them. Or in my show, they have lockers. Right? You can learn. You can rent a locker. For example, I have not digital, what is it? Combination lock. That's it. You can open combination locks on Shabbos. Okay. So continue. If one has another option to use an additional garment that serves both as an undergarment and sanitary use, and sanitary use. Should one use this verse with the forms of sanitary napkins? No, it's not necessary. So as we said, if there is a need, like if it in the middle of period, no problem. So according to all opinions, it is allowed to protect the dignity. But if it's like attached, it's according to all of the opinions because it's become nullified, like it becomes subordinate to the undergarments. So then no problem. Right. So no need to invent things. Okay. Okay. So next question. Is it permissible to wear more than one tichel simultaneously? Okay. Additionally, are the internal volumizer permitted on Shabbos? Are they allowed during the week? So going back, okay, from the beginning, it is permitted to more than tichel simultaneously. I mean, if it's for modesty reasons or because it's a warmer, I mean, like there is no problem whatsoever. So some women, what they do, they wrap one and then they wrap another one on top. So for beauty reason, right? Can one suffice? They cover, yes, but they like to be like a double color. So there is no problem. So people wear two. But tichel is usually it's a pre-sewn. I mean, do the people wear two? I mean, if there is a need, yes, they can wear two. There is no problem. Like for example, it's cold outside. Okay. Additional internal volumizer permitted on Shabbos. Yeah, that's volumizer. There is no problem. Right. So it's like it's a serve the garment basically. Can you wear without it? Yes, but there is no problem whatsoever. Okay. Are they allowed during the week? Absolutely. All right. So just so you know, the Muslims also wear them, so you can buy like from them. I mean, if you buy on the website. Or from Jewish, I mean, whatever you want. Just saying. Okay. Okay. So next series of questions. So for Shalom Rabbi, number one, I wonder how we can make sure to apply mussar lessons in our life without entering ourselves into the test. Heaven forbid. So again, this question. I wonder how can we make sure to applying mussar lesson in our life without entering ourselves into the test. Heaven forbid. Okay, so that's a very good question. So first of all, our sages say we are not allowed to put ourselves in a place of the test when a person says, "Yeah, I already passed this test, and I'll show it to everybody. I shall prove to myself I can pass." No, it's not. It's not proper, not allowed. But mussar is like when you learn in theory and you contemplate and you contemplate and you contemplate and you sometimes you can like imagine like a play in your head play out the situation. They're going to say this, I'm going to say that. They're going to say something else, and then I know it's time to get up and go. So meaning if you if you train yourself in this situation, like whatever situation is like in your life. Right, like predictable. So when the time comes, like this mussar lesson, the theoretical lesson is going to play out. I know exactly what to do. I know exactly to when argue, when not to argue, who to argue with, or when just say okay, right. I'm going to pay. Whatever you want me to do, I'm going to pay, and we call it the end. Okay. or some relationships. For example, somebody tried to, as we said in the first question, somebody enticed us to go against somebody's close to us, right? And this person is close, and and you are confused. And what would you answer that person? Understand? So, like what halacha is. So halacha is mussar is applicability of halacha, right? Applicability of our like changing our character traits, our attitude, and know how to apply halacha. Okay, but don't put yourself in a place of test. Hashem is going to test us anyway, right? So don't create like your personal test. Okay, so I'll continue. We learn in returning to Hashem broadcast, Rabbi Sani Gigi Shlita, the Rav Reuben Shlita suggested to a young man shidduch from another state. He was from LA, meaning the nearest state. Meaning the nearest state is not very close. Nearest state said, okay, no problem, LA, okay. In LA there is a big Jewish community, yes. I wonder if the rabbis has heard the similar cases. I'm not sure what's the question. Okay. If so, I wonder what type of the conditions would have been in order for this to be successful, particularly being that one would have to move pretty far. Okay, so the question about moving. Okay, so let me quickly read again. So suggested young man shidduch from another state. So he was from LA. Oh, he was from LA. I'm sorry, meaning the nearest state is not very close. Okay. I wonder if I heard the similar case. Okay, so Rabbi Reuben Shlita offer a shidduch advice. So I mean, maybe. For example, I give you a few examples about me. I heard this I spoke to one person, okay, to a guy, and he said whatever he said. I'm not going to. That doesn't matter what he said. And then, 8 months later, a woman contacted me, and she said whatever she said. When I asked her a question, and she answered, and I almost fainted. What does it mean? That she said almost exactly. I mean, different little words, but some words were the same. Whatever she said, exactly that guy, young guy. So I asked this guy, "How old are you?" I mean, I know he's in the early 20s or something. And are you looking for shidduch? He said, absolutely, I'm looking for shidduch, right? And then I said, okay, hold on, don't get excited. Let me talk to a girl. So I talked to a girl. She's, how old are you? This and that. I have somebody, maybe. This and that. And she was 1 year younger than him. Like, what could be better? But they from different countries. I mean, he said he knows her language, but not that good. I have an accent. I am embarrassed a little. Okay, so I mean, so it did not work out because of different countries. But I told him, I told her, no, she was against it, and he was basically did not work. But sometimes you have a feeling. I mean, I talked to both of them. I mean, right, from time to time, and looks like they're both still single. I don't know. So, but right, but. When I don't know what he saw exactly, maybe same personalities, same questions, same ambitions, right? And in the Torah growth, and then he suggested basically, especially when he's the young, it's not like he has a house and now he has to sell the house or his apartment. Most likely he's renting somewhere. He works. He lives with his parents. So that doesn't matter where to rent, whether in his town, in another town, right? As one person said to me, he was renting an apartment with another 3 guys, 2 or 3 guys. like a younger fellow, and he did, like he wants to be Shomer Shabbos. So I said, you have to like move out. You cannot live with these guys. He said, no, by the rent, but this, so I can find them another roommate, or right. So find them in another. Oh no, he said, and then they want to move out. Like I don't remember what the whole story, but I said, go to the landlord and try to talk to him. He said, no, he's not going to. I said, how do you know? Like maybe he wants this apartment back, like early. It was 6 months to the end of the lease. I say, offer, like talk to him. Don't offer anything. Talk to him. And guess what? And he went to this landlord and talked to him and said, okay, landlord said, what? He did not say you have to pay me. Like said, no problem. He said, if you painted this apartment, fix it up. There is no problem. So the guy was happy. And landlord, I think he said that he would pay for paint. Like unbelievable. So it turned out very good. So like he ran there, he ran here. I mean, you speak language. So in this couple that I just described, it was like a little language barrier, maybe. No, not maybe. Okay, right. So she did not speak his language, but he would speak her language. I'm not sure from. He said I said from level 1 to 10. Just explain to me what is. And he said maybe 5 or 6. I mean, I know some couples. So I see he's American, she's Israeli. So now she did not speak very good English. Okay, so but now like she speaks English and he speaks Hebrew. What is the problem, right? So or other languages, right? So meaning relocation is not a problem, usually. I mean, to leave LA and go somewhere, meaning like LA, meaning in my mind, is a center of the Torah in the whole region. I'm not sure. Maybe there are other some good places, maybe in California, right, or in another state. So if there is a different place, so he can move or she can move. They can work the things out. If right, if it's the only issue to move, so I don't think it's a big issue, right? So people looking for shidduch for 10 years, 15 years. Now, if he's going to get stuck because of the move, because she has some I give you example. So maybe she was married, right, and she has a child or children from the first marriage. And her ex-husband has visitation right, and the state would not allow them to relocate more than 30 miles from her original from the husband, and then she's not allowed. That she wants very much, right? But she cannot. So she cannot abandon children. So I mean. There are different situations. So if he wants this woman, he would move to her place again. If there is a Torah there. Okay, so different situations. Okay, so number 3. So me and my wife, we were also from different states. Not even close. I mean close, but not too so close. Number 3. I wonder why the Vilna Goan was against the teaching of Baal Shem Tov. Was it only due to what it could lead to, right? As we see that many considered Hasidim today, Baal Shem Tov himself was the Kaddish Kaddishim, right? Okay, so it says about Vilna Goan, so he was able to argue it on Rishonim. So others, we just keep our mouth shut. So I just read the opinion, and me personally, I wait until they announce me what is the final halacha. Okay, they say final halacha. Like this, I might have my opinion, but usually I don't. Why should I be so stupid to have my opinion, to be so arrogant? But Vilna Goan, so he was able to argue because he was on their level. You understand? He was not on the level of his generation. He was level on the previous, the highest generations. So meaning that he was a very holy man, and he foresaw in this Hasidus how it started that it might not come out good. So, right, and why? Because these people decided, so it's like in some sense they start creating a different religion. So if you think about it, so they went against the Orthodox Judaism. It's too boring, it's too this and that, right? And they start breaking off. Right, breaking off the word shtibel. I don't know if you heard the word shtibel. So I some time ago I prayed in shtibel. It's like shtibel means a house in Yiddish, right? It's a house. So they start praying in shtibels. So there is a central synagogue of the town, and they do not want. It's not according to our standard. We're going to pray separately. We're going to learn separately, right? And Baal Shem Tov, his circles were very close, but it was like Vilna Goan saw that like a danger of the thing, because it was connection to the Rabbi. I mean, today we see that connection is to the Rabbi. It's not so bad, right? But there was attachment to the Rabbi to the point that. They would not almost pray to rely on God, but rely only on Rabbi. So that's to the point. And how do I know this? Because I read the books, and we bought a long time ago these books, Hasidic story, Mises. It's very interesting, very inspirational. But after 5 stories or so you see that the trend again and again and again and again. So, meaning what? So instead of the word Hashem, they put the word Rabbi from this town, Rabbi for that town. And we understand those were holy of holies, the big tzaddikim. And of course, they did not tell these people to worship them, but many simple people, they say, okay, this thing is not working out for me in that one, so I go to Rabbi. Of course, and you should go to Rabbi, and you should ask advice of a Rabbi. So basically, they were asking Rabbi to override their fortune and create something better. You understand? So in my sense, it's almost. It was not real, but you feel like Hashem is only wants bad for us, but Rabbi can fix it, because Rabbi is holy and he's very kind. But the heavenly court is not so kind. They're not fair. So only Rabbi is fair. So after that, I said, me personally, that's what I said. I had too much. We finished few books. I mean, it was building up in my head. I said, I don't want these books in my house. You understand? It was so bad. Right. So. But we see that with Hasidim is more structure, right? If Rabbi said everybody jumps, right? For example, it's a many famous story. What was the last story that we learned? Just one second. Just 1 second. Sorry. It escapes me. 1 second. I don't know. I'm not going to remember, but similar to the story. Similar. About impurity. Was it in kosher kitchen? No, it was different. So it was about impurity. Maybe it was kosher. I don't remember. I read. We learned from the different books. Maybe it was. So So they say that can you kosher the earthenware vessel, or you have to break them, right? So that's what's the question. Maybe it's Talmud Pesachim. I'm just mixing up things. So it was right. So the thing was like that. So since they're not, you cannot kosher them from chometz. Right, so they say you have to break them before chometz, before Pesach, and after Pesach get yourself new earthenware vessels, right? Because you cannot kosher. But other rabbis said no, you can even though you're not able to kosher, but if you hold them over the Pesach, you can use them after Pesach, but somehow they went with the stringency. If I'm shortening the discussion, and but the potters who would make this earthenware vessel, they start like after Pesach they start raising prices because everybody needs new vessels. So and he went to these potters, to this right, and said, look, if you're going to raise the prices even 1 penny, I'm going to declare that halacha is not like me, and halacha is like that rabbi who said that you don't have to you don't have to break your vessels like Chofetz vessels, so you can use them after Pesach. So if you're going to, so meaning what, and rabbis, that's what they can do in their community. Say meat, we only buy from this. Like for example, you go to Mansi, right? Rabbi Mizrahi Shlitali. So you have different supermarkets in Mansi. One is a Hasidic supermarket, right? So like they have their own shkita, everything of their own. So they're not going to go to the different supermarket and buy meat from them unless they carry the same shkita. Usually not. So you understand? So Rabbi say we eat only this shkita, we eat only this shkita. That's it. You understand? So that's a power of the Rebbe. If you go to other shuls, like would they would treat a rabbi like the Hasidim? No, they would not. Unfortunately, I mean, in most of the places they would not. So okay, Rabbi said, who cares? He said, people talk. How is he better than me? Oh, he reads books. You know how many books I read? You know who was my father? And that's it. They put the rabbi down. But in the rabbis, in the Hasidic circle, this is not going to fly. They're going to kick the person out. That's it. So like today with Hasidim, I mean, it's also, as we know, the modesty wise is the strongest ones. You understand? Adhering to the Torah, to the mitzvahs, not to intermingle with society, the strongest one. You understand? Yeshivas, very good yeshivas. But Vilna Goan foresaw this, all the Chabadniks, all these other people that would make pray to the Rebbe. You understand? That's of course the issue. Rebbe, what is Hasidic Shkita? I saw this on a pack of the lunch bin. I mean, this is just different. They're just different. So they go by some stringencies, whatever they right. There is some like if you learn the laws of the shkita and other things, there is some things applicable, like acceptable after the fact. So, but if you want to go by the most stringent view, you can. There is nobody is stopping you, right? So, but here I'm not sure exactly what. I never looked into it. I'll tell the truth, never looked. So, but okay. For us, I would eat their meat. There is no problem. Their meat or others. So, but if it's Chabad, for example, if it's Chabad shkita, so I would not buy Chabad shkita unless there is other kashrus as well. And there is a kasher like Chabad and OU, right? We would buy Chabad and OU. We would buy, right? But usually it's even more than two. Sometimes it's three stamps from three different rabbis. Okay. So continue. Number 4. To what extent should someone consider minor physical characteristics during shidduch, weird laugh, or something else that is not particularly bad, but just bothers the other party? If there's a chemistry and both are kosher. Read one more time. To what extent should someone consider minor physical characteristic during the shidduch, weird laugh or something? So weird laugh. So we have to understand. So people on a shidduch on a date. So they understand it's serious, especially if there is some chemistry. So they may be tense, and sometimes they like to behave not natural. So weird laugh or something like when people tense, that's how they laugh. Understand? So in this case, maybe to have a few more dates, get comfortable, relax, and then you see the person, real him or her. Right? But it should not be like a stopping point. Right? Okay. So number 5. It's different questions. I heard that one must remove dog tag from the color on Shabbos to avoid chatzah. Is this the case? Okay. So technically, the dog can vary things. Dog tags. I'm not sure that they make noise. I'm not sure. So, are we allowed to put something on a dog on Shabbos that it would carry it? I'm not. It's a good question. I learned about it, but I would not remember at this point. With the dog tags, the color. Maybe it is a problem. No, if you put it inside, what's the problem if you put it inside? I'm not sure. Let's put it away. Okay, so next question. Regarding the garment that are regularly folded on Shabbos, I wonder if rolling up the pants legs a bit is okay. Regarding the garments that are regularly folded on Shabbos, wonder rolling up the pants is a bit okay. Yes, because that's how people wear the pants. Maybe dress pants people would not roll up, but other pants they would. There is no problem, right? Okay, so next one. On Shabbos, are we required to avoid pedestrian sensors that will automatically cue the light to change? Right. Oh, pedestrian sensor. I did not know these things exist. Huh. Okay, so the question, let's open answer this question in general, because on Shabbos we should avoid all of the sensors that might trigger the light. So they have this floodlight, right? So when we pass like private houses, sometimes buildings or whatever is it, right? So of course it is a big problem. It is a big problem, and we should avoid it. So, of course, if after the fact, I'm talking after the fact, there's a lenient opinion that we should not care about it because it was not our intention, right? It's not our intention. You don't benefit. For example, it is light enough. It's not like very dark, and now you're going to benefit. But it's proper. So it's a lenient opinion. For example, if you have the other options is to go in the middle of the busy road. So of course, because of the life danger, we would not. But for example, I know my route, the way I go from shul to my house, and I know there's maybe 4, 5, 6, 7, I don't know, maybe 7 sensors. So I know I just walk around and that's it. It's not like, right, it's not a big deal. That's it. So you know where to cross the street, or sometimes there are parked cars, so you go in next to the parked car on the street, and you're not going to trigger the sensor. That's it. Right, and same is here is in what is it with the pedestrian lights. Yeah, try to wait for somebody else to come and trigger the light or press the button or whatever is it, and then you walk. Right, but you stay a little behind when the sensor is not working. That's it. Right. Another thing, it's like doors, like automatic doors. So in some buildings, you have, I guess, in fancy schmancy buildings or in a hospital, you need to visit somebody in the hospital, I don't know, for whatever reason. right? So or a person stay in a hotel. Right? For example, like a long time ago, we would go to this Shabbaton, like our family Shabbat. It's not with other people, just family. Right, and the doors were automatic, but we learned there is always side door. There's always side door that you can use, or you can go up like behind somebody else. You see, people are coming. Okay, you just wait for them. They come in, the door open. You just walk with them. Right, so piggyback they call it. Okay, what else? Right. Okay, so continue. Okay, so continuation on this long long distance shidduch, right? So he's from LA and she's from I don't know from where, from Wisconsin or something. I don't know. Right, or from LA and she's from Massachusetts, right? It's pretty far. Right, so they can talk on the phone. They can do video conferencing, where they can do Skype, FaceTime, or whatever, and see. Like, of course, it's better like right to meet in person, but at least maybe in person writing, see if see the resume. What if they have the same aspiration as you? If they have the same hashkafa, because other things like you can get used to, fixable, but hashkafa, like if it's rotten in the beginning, and person says, yeah, I like what you say, but they don't mean it, and they like just said it, so it would be a big issue, right? And then you decide you can meet. Right. So many few times have this conversation, like video conference. Like first see if other things work out, and then you can meet. Decide it like maybe she's going to fly halfway, you're going to fly halfway and meet somewhere else, or drive. I don't know, drive. Okay, but it's all possible. So okay. I have actually. I spoke about my friend today. So um, his father is from New York and his mother is from South Africa. He told me this story. I don't remember how they met. I say from South Africa. Did she move? No. They met, and I mean, he's a little younger than I am, right? So meaning they met like over the letters. So they start corresponding letters, and then when they decided maybe spoke on the phone, it was very expensive back then. Speak on the phone, and they decided to meet, and then they met and get married. Okay. If it was possible back then, so it's possible today as well. Right. It's very interesting. I mean, he told me how they, but it was very interesting. All right. So, next question. Korav, should one remove sensor night light from a room for Shabbos since we walk since if we walk by in a lit room it will turn on. 1 second. Again, should one remove this? I mean, you don't have to remove the sensor. There is a button. I mean, we have this basement, like in a basement. So like I installed it. You have a button, like on the switch, not button, a switch on the bottom, where you can turn it off. That's it. You don't have to remove it. So you turn off and that's it. Right. Okay, so I appreciate practical wisdom. Okay, Baruch Hashem. I think we're done. We're done with the questions. All right, so thank you very much for learning with us. And please join us tomorrow. We're going to continue with our Shabbat kosher kitchen. Baruch Hashem. Thank you. Good night.